What's up, Crow Nation? I'm Skylar Jenkins.
And I'm Pat McGuire.
Welcome back to the KL Insider, and this week is Throwbacks Week. So we're going to be talking about the changes and the new pickups going on in their roster.
So last season, the Throwbacks had a bit of a down year. They finished the regular season with a record of 3-7. They had high expectations coming in, and they didn't really pan out the way they expected it to. They actually earned the last playoff spot in the final week of the season, though, just beating out the Horses for that final spot. But they did lose to the eventual champions, the Night Owls, in the quarterfinals. Some last season statistics. So they only scored 999 points. They're the only team in the KL to not score 1,000 points. Their defense was still very good, only just giving up 1,067 points, so 106 points per game. Going to last season, their captain, Joe Farino, in his captain's statement, he said that the Throwbacks were bringing a new offensive power to their game, and their defense is still going to be as strong as it is. He was right on half that their defense was still very strong, but their offense didn't improve as much as he would have liked. So defensively, they had the third best save percentage in the entire league. They led the league in fouls with 126, and they also allowed the fewest shot attempts in the league too. So the defense was still very strong. Their offense just wasn't there though. Going into the offseason, Captain Joe Farino wanted to add a lot of offense to his roster, and how he did this is he had to get rid of some of key defensive players. The players that aren't returning this year are John Graham, Lou Martin, Jim Bradley, James Thomas, and George Price. And players that he added onto this roster are Mike Small, Drew Amoroso, Matt Sola, and Bill Kaczynski.
So the full roster for the Throwbacks for KL5 is going to be Joe Farino, Ryan Scafidi, Ryan Kirby, Steve Ferris, Kevin Chevarria, Andrew Amoroso, Mike Small, Nick Ferrario, Brian Marin, Kevin Casero, Nick Picari, Steve Bada, Kevin Marin, Matt Sola, Ryan Hoff, Bill Kaczynski. What do you want to say about the rookies coming in?
All right, so there's two they added. So it's Drew Amoroso and Bill Kaczynski. Drew was originally going to be on the Horses, but he was part of that trade that sent Mike Small and Matt Sola over. He's going to come onto this team. I think he's going to be the second leading scorer on this team. We talked about him before in our first episode. He's dangerous from the flex, and he has that cross-zone shot, so it's going to be good to see him come in. And then Bill's probably going to be that fifth wedge back off the bench. I think he still has a little bit of developing to do. He needs to work a little more on his offensive game and then just tweak a couple things defensively. But I think we might see him playing a lot more towards the end of the season. Just some of the other pickups. Mike Small is a huge pickup for this team. Mm-hmm. This team lacked the true leading scorer. They had Steve Ferris, who was 16th overall in the league, but that's not what you want. You want a guy in the top 10, and that's what Mike Small is. Then went up and got Matt Sola too, so along with trading away some defensive guys, they get another defensive guy back who was hurt all of last year, so he's coming in healthy, and his offense is going to be much better. And then this is a Throwbacks team that still will be able to put up that strong defense they have, and they might have even made it better, because if you think Mike Small standing on the point or standing in front of a guy trying to take a shot is worse than any other guys they had, well, you're wrong. He's 6'8", and he's going to block any shot that's thrown his way. So going off of that, just my projected lineup for this upcoming season. Crossers, this was tough. They're moving Ryan Scafidi from Ranger to Crosser. I think he's going to be the starter, and then where it was tough was deciding if Joe Farino is going to start himself or if he's going to start Ryan Kirby in there. Ryan Kirby, he's a better offensive weapon crosser than Joe is. He has a better arm, and he is good from his feet too, so we'll see what Joe does there. I think it's going to be Ryan Scafidi and Ryan Kirby, though. Projected Rangers, it's going to be Mike Small, Drew Amoroso, Brian Marin, and Steve Ferris. Those first three names, those guys are all over 6'4", so that's just a huge height advantage for the Throwbacks. And all four of those guys have big arms, so expect to see a lot of firepower out of them. Steve Ferris, he was the team leading scorer last year, but I don't think he's going to be that again just because they got way too much talent. Brian Marin's going to be my X factor in this Ranger core. If he is where he needs to be, scoring 15 points a game, this Ranger core is going to be putting up points on everyone. It doesn't matter who your wedge back is, who's in front of them trying to block a shot. They're going to be lighting up that scoreboard. And then projected wedge backs, Steve Bada, he's going to be in there. He was 4th in saves last year. Kevin Marin, first player to ever put up the triple-double. He's going to be there. Matt Sola, coming in off of an injury, and then also Ryan Hoff, who missed out last season off injury too.
The Throwbacks had a very strong defense, as we've talked about, and they're giving up a lot of them, like a lot of good wedge back. James Thomas didn't perform very well last year because of traveling, but I feel like he's going to do better this year, and it wasn't even needed. The Throwbacks were still able to provide a good defense, and I think what they needed was offense, so they're able to give up these good defensive guys and start going for some bigger arms and some bigger shots and having some people they can actually pass to who can just knock it in when they need it. You're going to see a different game from them, but I'm really hoping that they will be able to develop and work together and utilize those big arms that they have now.
Yeah, Joe Farino, he tweeted out right after we broke news of that trade that he's sad to see his guys go, but he's happy with what they have back. He even tweeted a fun fact for us, that the Throwbacks lost 5 games last year by 10 points or less. When you add guys like Mike Small and Drew Amoroso, those 10 points go away. That's going to help them so much. They're definitely going to win a lot more games this year. But even like you said, it is going to be a bit of a developing year with those key guys gone from that team this year. So I'm excited to see what they can do in the preseason. As of the regular season, I think they can try and make it into the playoffs. It's going to be a tough task for them because there's other teams that didn't do much trading, and it will definitely be a difficult task, but I think they're up for the challenge. Excited to see how it plans out.
That's our show for this week. Thanks for tuning in.
And if you guys are in the Philadelphia area, check out the tournament the Cronum League is hosting January 17th. It's the Winter Classic. We're going to be there. We're going to be playing. We'd love to see everyone come out and play, and we'd love to talk to everyone too, get your feedback on the show and just how the tournament's going.
So I'm Skylar Jenkins.
And I'm Pat McGuire.
And we'll see you around. Hey, be sure to check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where you can see all the questions that we post, and you can comment and give us your predictions.